I buy long-term rentals, and when I'm buying long-term rentals, it's very simple. I'm looking in markets that are appreciating in value, right? I'm looking at the market itself. Is this a market that has more people moving into it? Is the economy growing? Are there more jobs? I look at a lot of that stuff to make sure the market is good. I do that kind of in general, but especially my long-term rentals, because they're not necessarily going to cash flow a ton, because they just only can make so much money. So I want to make sure the property is going to appreciate in value as well. And that's all I care about. Is the market good? And then is my rental income higher than my expenses? Property characteristics, I don't care if it's 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, whatever. As long as the property is profitable and it's in a good market and my cash on cash return justifies it, I will buy that. Short-term rental, I'm looking at either it's a phenomenal location, right? Or it's a phenomenal property that I know it's either already decked out, or I know it's got a big lot or a huge pool or something that can make it really sick, like really fun, awesome place. Midterm rentals, not my main thing. But if you're looking at midterm rentals, typically you're looking for like healthcare. Like, are there big hospitals around? Maybe is there a military base around? A lot of my midterm rental tenants are military or healthcare professionals. So I'm looking at hospitals and military bases. A lot of other people, my man Jesse Vasquez, he does this better than anyone else. He's working with like hospitals and insurance companies directly to then get, like, whenever they have someone that's displaced or need housing, they're basically reaching out to him so like he does it with insurance companies and hospitals. A lot of people do it with insurance companies. I don't really know how to bank on that working out, because usually for an insurance company to need your property, that means someone just got displaced from their home because of something happened. But that seems too like random for me. I'm not really a random type of investor. I want to know that when I go into something, I'm an engineer by trade, right? So I want to understand. I want to be able to understand the numbers going into an investment. And so like banking on something like that, that's why I don't really do a lot of midterm rental. If you want to get more insights into what rents typically go for midterm rental, check out Furnish Finder. It's the platform that I use above everything else for midterm rentals. But the characteristics I'm looking for is location. And then usually for midterm rentals, I've noticed that 1-bedroom and 2 bedrooms are ideal, because if it's a healthcare professional or, someone in the military, it's usually not like they don't need like the full house. Usually they're waiting for like they don't need like a huge house for that. So like I prefer smaller works better for midterm from my experience. Not that nobody else, but that's what I prefer. And then last but not least, my co-living properties, the rent by the room. So I'm looking for properties that are like physical characteristics. Well, let's talk about location. I leverage the tool PadSplit to manage my properties and to find my tenants. And then I leverage PadSplit to also look at the data, like what is the rental income I can project in this property? What is the average vacancy I can project in this property based on other properties they have in that market? So I'm only buying pad splits or rent by the room in markets that are already pad split markets. I can show you what that is, but I've done videos on that before. Watch another video. I've got that video for you. But what I'm looking for is rent by the room. I like properties that are 6 bedrooms or more. That's not very likely to find. You don't find a lot of 6-bedroom properties. So what I'm looking for is 3-bedroom, 2-bath. That's at least 1,750 square feet. I know if that's the case, there might be an extra office or living room or something that can be converted into a bedroom to get me closer to that 6 bedrooms or higher. The more square footage, the better, but the square footage doesn't directly relate to the number of bedrooms, right? Because it depends on the flow of the house. Sometimes it's like 2,000 or less square feet and you can have 6 or 7 or 8 bedrooms. Sometimes it's over 2,000. Well, usually if it's 2,000 or more, you're going to be able to fit roughly 6 bedrooms there, but it depends on the flow of the property and how big the existing bedrooms are. Where are the hallways? Where are the common areas? That's going to be a big part of it. So I'm looking for bigger properties in pad split markets, which tend to be bigger cities in better states. And that's where I like to invest in, especially now I'm buying bigger properties in better states, in better locations of that state, like the city and even the location of the city. Those tend to be the best co-living homes from my personal experience. And not only am I getting more cash flow, I'm getting better appreciation because the property's bigger and nicer, so it's appreciating more in value. I'm getting better tax benefits and depreciation because the bigger the mortgage, the bigger the property value, the more debt pay down you get and the more tax benefits you get. So it all works really hand in hand. That's literally, I'm a numbers guy. That's why I'm going so hard on the co-living, the rent by the room route over every other strategy. So if you ask me any of these other ones, I can't even say, like, I have them in my portfolio. I'm not even actively buying most of those. If I'm buying a short-term rental, I explained why and what I'm looking for, but really it's co-living. And I'm buying 10 co-living for every one short-term rental. Let's see, what else is another characteristic? I mean, that's the gist of the characteristics I'm looking for. It's very straightforward. It's my buy box. So if you want a copy of my buy box, go to my Instagram. I'll make sure to put something in there so you get a copy of my buy box. I will drop it in the comments as well right now so you can see what my buy box looks like. So then you have a pretty good idea of what is it that I'm buying. I should have probably broken up that comment, made it nicer. It's like 50 comments because it was so long. All right, there you go. It was like 5 or 6 comments. So those are the characteristics I'm looking for, right? And really, overall, what I'm looking for is I'm looking to make more money every single month on that property than my monthly expenses, right? That's number one thing. My income has to exceed my expenses because that's my profit or my cash flow. And then I'm making sure that the cash flow that I'm generating each month justifies the amount of money I had to put in to acquire the property, or that's the entry cost, right? The entry cost, the money you have to put in. Cash flow is the monthly profit. You take 12 times your monthly profit, which is your annual profit or your annual cash flow, divide that by your entry costs, and that is your cash on cash return. That is the metric that shows you how hard is your money working for you. For me, it's different. I'm not putting any money in these deals. My partners are. So that tells me how much can I pay my partners and make sure that they're taken care of and they want to invest on this deal. So the higher the cash on cash return, the more returns for us as owners. And the co-living model works the best for that. If you want to understand this stuff better, I have literally so much content on deal analysis, masterclass on all of that stuff. Please watch that content. But those are characteristics of the properties I'm looking for. And then what I really care about is it profitable and does it justify the amount of money I have to put in to buy that deal? That's really the number one characteristic or thing that I'm looking at when I'm buying and holding a property.